Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Property Focus. We are always happy for you to join us. All right. So, on today's episode, we will be talking about property and facilities management. Property and facilities management are very important for investors in real estate. Why? Because they are a huge part of you realizing your investment returns or meeting your financial goals for your investment. Okay, property and facilities management. We're going to start with property management. What is property management? Property management essentially is the administration of a piece of real estate. Property management concerns itself with the administration of a piece of real estate. Under property management, you have the marketing and leasing of property, the monitoring, control, and maintenance of said property. Okay, so if I own a piece of real estate, in some instances, I might want to manage it myself, which is an investment property, by the way. This is not relevant for your primary residence. We are speaking strictly in terms of investment property, right? So I might, if I have the time, I might want to manage it myself. But in many cases, property owners would prefer to outsource that function to a third party because they're often busy with other things. So they would hire a property manager. That property manager will be tasked with marketing and leasing that property. Screening would be tenants once they are screened and lease agreement signed, which said property manager may sometimes prepare or sometimes have the owner of the property prepare, ensuring that those tenants are happy for the duration of their stay on said property, and when they leave, ensuring that those vacancies are immediately, that the owner of the property is immediately informed of those vacancies so that they are filled out. If there's any repairs or what have you, renovations that have to be done, the property manager would have to inform the property owner of the condition or state of the property on exit of those tenants. Okay? In addition to that, the property manager monitors what happens around the property and controls some of it. So, for instance, if there's other staff working on the property, the manager would be tasked with the responsibility of ensuring that those members of staff work as they should and that the property is well looked after. In addition to that, the maintenance of the property also is the function of the property manager. All right. Now, sometimes property management is confused for asset management. Now, whilst property and asset managers often work hand in hand, the two things are not the same. Okay? So, what is asset management? Asset management basically is a managing of financial assets to maximize investment returns. Okay? So, an asset manager manages financial assets to maximize investment returns. Asset managers are usually relevant when you have a portfolio of property. So when your investment it grows such an extent that you become a group of properties, you might then require an asset manager to come in and ensure that your financial goals or investment goals on that property are realized. So the asset manager would look into, for instance, the profitability of your investment. How much money are you sinking into that investment? Is it worth it considering the returns you're getting on it? And so on and so forth. That is what an asset manager does. Usually, you'll find asset managers in working for property funds. In the Zambian case, this will be relevant for pension funds. Because pension funds are the ones that invest in property at that scale, right? So you will find asset managers sometimes working for pension funds which tend to invest in property at scale, right? So the property managers, for example, working for these pension funds would then work hand in hand with the asset managers to ensure that those investment goals are realized. All right. A third one would be the facilities manager or facilities management. What does facilities management entail? Facilities management basically is ensuring that the function of a real estate is optimal. Of a piece of real estate is optimal. I beg your pardon. Facilities management is ensuring that the function of a piece of real estate is optimum. What do I mean by this? Okay, so the facilities of a property. This is relevant again for large-scale property development, right? So you have malls, for instance, or commercial property, office blocks, and what have you. The facilities manager will be tasked with ensuring that things like the lifts are working, the HVAC in the offices is functioning as it should, the air conditioning is functioning as it should, is the plumbing okay, when things break down, are they fixed, and what have you. Okay, if there are new installations that need to be done on the property, some fixtures that have to be removed or installed or upgraded or what have you from time to time, the facilities manager would be tasked with the function of ensuring that that is done. Okay, they are different from an asset manager and a property manager in the sense that they don't concern themselves with for example, in the case of the property manager, the facilities manager does not concern themselves with the administration of the property. They don't have anything to do with the marketing or the leasing or the screening tenants and what have you. They strictly look into the function of that piece of property. Okay. So those are the three main functions under property management. You have the actual property manager, okay, who looks into the administration of the property, and then you have the asset manager who is tasked with ensuring that the financial objectives of the investment are achieved, and then you have the facilities manager who concerns themselves with the function of that property. Right. So that wraps up this edition of Property Focus. If you haven't subscribed already, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button and share this content. See you on the other side.